compared to the free market policies of Kenya. I've been asked time and again, how was it that my colleagues and I avoided falling into this trap? Before I answer this question, let me start by explaining how I became politicized. The first turning point of my life was World War II, the way the British was routed by the Japanese. Before the war broke out, our British rulers feared that the Asians would panic if bombs and shells fell upon them. When the bombs and shells actually came, it was the British bosses who were shocked and packed their families off. The Chinese, Indian, and Malay subjects stoically bore their sufferings. That aura of overwhelming superiority with which the British held us in thrall was broken, never to be restored. Another turning point was the experience of the brutality and cruelty of our Japanese conquerors. They had portrayed themselves as liberators of fellow Asians from the white man, but they left us in no doubt that they were the new masters of the so-called Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere. And to punish the Chinese in Singapore for supporting the nationalist government of China with donations to fight Japanese aggression, within the first 15 days of their conquest of Singapore, they picked off at random 50,000 to 100,000 Chinese youths out of concentration centers and machine gunned them on the beaches. I had first-hand experience of Japanese militarism when a Japanese platoon was decided to build themselves in my home. My family had fled to the countryside, and it was 4 days of hell. I was roughed up, slapped, made to kneel down by a sentry, kicked in the chest, sent sprawling because I did not know that I had to bow to him to cross the bridge. I felt that the dark ages had descended upon us. And I watched 80,000 dejected British, Indian, and Australian troops march into captivity in 48 hours. Many of my friends shared this harrowing experience. We asked ourselves, why? What right had the Japanese to do this to us? Why did the British not fight the Japanese more ferociously to defend us? And when the British came back after 3.5 years, after the bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, the communists who had organized the resistance in the jungles of Malaya attempted to grab power as theirs as of right. But I feared them as much as I feared the Japanese. As a result, many nationalists like me were born. After the war, my contemporaries and I gathered in London. We were studying in various universities in England, and there was ferment in the air. India had got its independence in 1947. So had Pakistan, Burma, Ceylon. Why not Malaya, which then included Singapore? The British cut off Singapore from Malaya as they prepared to give independence to the Malays in Malaya. They wanted to keep Singapore as one link in a chain of naval bases from Portsmouth to Gibraltar, to Suez, to Aden, to Singapore, to Sydney. But after the British lost Suez in 1956, they agreed to let us rejoin Malaya. By then it was too late. The Malay majority was not prepared to treat their Chinese, Indian, and other ethnic groups as equal citizens when they became as numerous as the Malays. What were my motivations? First, to get rid of colonialism and be independent. This got us involved in a fight against the communists who were well ahead of us in the struggle against the British. Later, we rejoined Malaya and had to fight the Malay extremists who wanted to dominate other ethnic groups in Malaysia. As a result, in less than 2 years of federation, Singapore was asked to leave. And we had to agree because the alternative was bloodshed, which the Malaysian Prime Minister Tunku Abdul Rahman warned us. So suddenly, in August 1965, we had to create a nation out of a motley collection of Chinese, Indians, Malays, and others who had come to Singapore to seek a better life, but not to be a nation. How did we escape choosing the wrong model? Well, we were helped by the examples of failed policies in many new countries. India, Pakistan, Ceylon, Burma, and Indonesia had gained their independence in the 1940s. Ghana and Nigeria in the 1950s. By 1965, they were not thriving. India's Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru had imbibed socialist theories from his generation of British philosophers, economists, and political scientists when he was a student at
all man, the place day. Una good evening, Papa and Mami them. Una good evening, our brothers and our sisters them. Una good evening for all auntie and for all uncle them. And for our fellow Ambazonian picking them. Una place over there. Today, na number 5 day. Today na Friday for the second week of Ambazonian collective resistance. Today, na number 5 day we don't enter inside for number 2 weeks for the collective resistance when the Ambazonian people they put them forward. And for that, the Ambazonian Governing Council, we want to thank our people then. We want to thank everybody on ground zero across the 13 states, from every community, every block, every town, for all the 13 states of Ambazonia. We want to thank our people for the state of Boyo. We want to thank our people for the state of Fako. We want to thank our people for the state of Donga. We want to thank our people for the state of Meme. Our people for the state of Menchum. We want to thank our people for the great state of Manu. People for Mafe Usalodona. We want to thank our people them for Mezam. We want to thank our people them for Mumo. We want to thank our people them for Bui. We want to thank our people them for the state of Coupe. We want to thank our people them for Ndian. We want to thank our people them for the state of Lebialem. And we want to thank our people them for Ngoketunjia. We want to thank all our people them for this collective resistance, for this collective rejection of the occupier. It be very easy for win this liberation struggle through collective resistance, quickly and faster than through self-defense. When you combine self-defense for the protection of our people then, for the protection of our communities and for fight against the enemy, and you add collective resistance like which we don't demonstrate over the last 2 weeks. The Ambazonian people then, for a relatively short period of time, they feel end Cameroon's occupation. These last 2 weeks, make a joke explain what it don't happen. And then we'll go move for the discussion. But first, 2 weeks ago, exactly 2 weeks ago, some person sent me a message, an audio message on Facebook with a La Republique number. On WhatsApp with a La Republique number. He sent them for pidgin. This person, for that audio, he talks if they proposed to the Hague of Sea, say as 1st October they come, make ADF and Ambazonian forces and all the forces on ground zero, make Russian flag. And so that for October 1, Ambazonian forces and ground zero, they go carry Russian flag with Ambazonian flag, they begin to march with them. So that as our forces that they march, instead for hold only Ambazonian flag, they go carry Russian flag. This person continue for talk, say they say the reason why it proposed that idea, now say it go force the international community their hand, make it run quick, can't solve the problem. Now the reason that way he advance them. And listen, I just start for laugh. I no place where this information they come on. Immediately, being around for 9 years, being around for analyze La Republique intelligence and how then they work, and the timing of these things, I come to the conclusion, say, now La Republique military intelligence services, they send this thing for use them, for kill ourselves, for stop our progress. Since this conflict start, the Russian government don't only make now one statement for 2020, where they only put now one tweet. They don't ever talk about what conflict. No place for this world, not the way. Russia don't ever get involved with people the way they fight for self-determination. So immediately I understand, say they say, La Republique understand place who they. La Republique understand how we don't corner them for the international community. La Republique understand how the international community don't put La Republique inside a box and force Paul Biya in hand and force Dion Ngute in hand and force even Ngoh Ngoh where he talks say enough dialogue. It must only use the military solution. They understand, say, through the kind diplomacy we don't do them, they don't tie their hand. We make them make so many trips for go visit Dr. Cho for Oslo and start a process of looking at for put a mechanism where fit start negotiations. Now those be very measured for which I talk because there are things I not fit put outside. So they understand, say their occupation for Ambazonia don't come to an end. They no place where this thing they. They no place where their country they. So they find a way for make sure say the international community move in hand from this conflict. La Republique no. So that's why they send their military intelligence agent for come propose something where it go cost a process where they go on. It go cost things where they go on. It go cost all these other countries then where they need to come out fine with Russia. It go come out all these countries the way they don't stand for say may they solve this problem. It go make all them go move their hand for this conflict. I immediately understand because you don't be around for 9 years. That's a lot of experience. So things the way you pick them up instinctually. They call them for leadership, say pattern recognition. You just understand them immediately. So I laugh. I just leave them. I not respond because you understand the game. 2 weeks later, they know say I never put that information for our side because we understand place we come out. We ignore them. They don't go behind, they define other people them, and the moment they push that agenda, some few people them, Ambazonians, and even some few egg of seas. All we want make this conflict come to an end. All we want make our people they be free. One desperate move will seal the fate of the Ambazonian people then. One desperate wrong move will put the Ambazonian people then for a very dangerous place. That's why it be important, say, when things they come up, instead for people them for just take their phone because they get free WhatsApp and just start for make audios. Say make ground zero they do this, make ground zero they did this, without even looking at the implications. For place where they now we be on top of things and not La Republic. Ambazonia again, it get leverage and not La Republic. Now Ambazonia get all the cards. Ambazonia get all the cards. Now we get all the cards on the table and not La Republic. So I don't know if you understand why people they be so desperate. When you did win, you need to be desperate. When you did win, you did be measured. You did get a certain level of composure. Because the slightest mistake where you make, you go lost everything we don't fight for and we don't work for. That's why sometimes conflict that they take a longer period because people need to follow a strategy and a leadership. Everybody want to be in charge and everybody want to be the commander-in-chief and everybody want to be the captain. And Ambazonia don't suffer a lot because everybody he want lead. People they want lead, they don't want to put their faces for outside. People they want lead, they don't want to make you know their names. People they want to give you instructions, but they don't fit tell you who you be. But they want to make an audio and give you instructions for make you go carry them, you go implement them, and you don't even know who that person be. Certain things that they will not really need for the can't talk of outside. But because it don't become a public debate for Ambazonians, that's why they bring them up for una, make una understand the genesis of these things. And more understand how the enemy they work. That's why they bring this subject up. Not been about any person. I not talk say I be right. And I not talk say any other person be wrong. I don't let us know be very careful. I don't let us be very careful. If you don't be around and you don't be inside the game and you don't create such progress and you put so much hard work, you got to be very careful. When so many lives don't be lost, we no need for show signs of desperation at the moment when we win. There is something ahead for the Ambazonian people then. That's why the Ambazonian Governing Council, they try to maintain cohesion, unity, and discipline across the territory and for all fronts. Because we know which day for our people then. That's why we therefore be very calm and start to put in place systems and processes. That's why on Monday we can tell our people and say, make the start for prepare for a transition government. Make our people start for prepare for self-governance. We know where to come. Not wait until that day reach. Start for prepare now. Start for build the institutions now. Start for build the foundation now. Because at the time this for show a posture of brilliance, a posture of intelligence, a posture of foresight, a posture of vision, a posture of control, a posture of leadership. For start for send signal to the other people then. You be ready for take over the country. At the time this, when negotiations won't come, that's when you get for start posturing. I need to only do the posturing, but you get for start do the work. For start for signal. This thing not been a small game. A very delicate things in this. And that's what we do. And very intelligently and very tactically. For make sure say we secure the aspirations, the hopes, and the dreams of our people them without creating confusion. Without leading our people them astray. Without leading them in the wrong path. And then we will now try for recover and then for recalibrate. When the occupier be at the weakest point. Come on. When the occupier don't be crumbled. Come on. When the occupier they on its knees. And now you get all the advantages and the leverage. Man. We got to demonstrate certain level of discipline. All right. Now the thing that I be to make, I bring that one first. Now we'll go for a discussion for today. Cameroun there for fire. There is fire where it is born inside Cameroun itself. There is a fire where it is consumed Cameroun itself. Cameroun they at war with Cameroun. CPDM they at war with CPDM. There is a talk of war where it go on inside the presidency. A tussle for power. A tussle for control. Who be in charge? So, as all we know, while we talked 2 days ago, so the colonial prime minister, he only use where Paul Biya get him for he only use where Ngoh Ngoh get him for Dion Ngute, not for use Dion Ngute as a propaganda boy. Dion Ngute not just a propaganda tool, a propaganda material that he use it like boy. Dion Ngute na basically a house boy for La République. Now for Usai, you don't ever hear when they talk to the prime minister, and then they can't add them again say the prime minister and head of the government. Why you never hear when they talk about Keir Starmer, the prime minister of the United Kingdom? Why you not hear say they call it prime minister and then they can't add them again say head of government? Why you never hear when they call Netanyahu, the prime minister for Israel, they will call it prime minister and head of government? Why you never hear when they call McCartney, the new prime minister for Canada, why they never call it the prime minister of Canada and head of government? Why be saying that only for La République, where they go call the prime minister and then they will can't talk say it be head of government? Now because they know saying a lie. For the hierarchy in terms of the power structure for Cameroon, Dion Ngute na number 5 person. So how person will it be number 5 person for the structure of power for Cameroon, it be head of government? How? You see the lie? Dion Ngute that did lie for you. You be number 5 in the structure of power for Cameroon. Number 1, you get a colonial dictator, Mr. Paul Biya himself. Number 2, you get the Secretary General for the presidency, we don't take over more power than anybody else. Then number 2, according to the Cameroon constitution, is supposed to be that the president of the Senate, Marcel Nyat. Now it's supposed to for be number 2. But Ngoh Ngoh don't dominate everybody. Number 3, supposed for be that the vice president of Senate. But Ngoh Ngoh don't dominate all of them. And then the next person is supposed to be at the head of the president of the National Assembly. Dion Ngute na number 5. Dion Ngute na number 5. In the structure of power according to the Cameroon government. So how person will be number 5 for the structure of power for a country? It can't be head of government. That is the propaganda. And that is the lie. That they lie that way, they lie Dion Ngute, that they lie that way, they lie the people of Cameroon, that they lie that way, they lie the Ambazonian people them. Dion Ngute na boy for La République. Na a propaganda tool. So, while Dion Ngute, Ngoh Ngoh movie send them for, may go for Ambazonian, for do propaganda. When it comes to the real power for La République, make we see. Now, Dion Ngute that, he did for Bamenda, for go do propaganda, for a ring road, where La République don't promise the Ambazonian people them since 1966. And then they make another promise 1976. And then Paul Biya come and make another promise for 1984. For in the 90s, they make another promise. In the 2000s, they make a promise. Dion Ngute don't go for make promise for the same role. Why they send Dion Ngute for go make that propaganda? Guess place where Ngoh Ngoh be there. Ngoh Ngoh, he go for the South region. And all the chiefs and all the elites for the South region, they don't gather. They say they want to show their support for their Pikin Paul Biya. They want to show their support for their Pikin Paul Biya. You know, say the South region get more parliamentarians past any other region for inside Cameroon. The South region, it get more parliamentarians past any other region. Okay? First you need to know. So now with the elections they come, Ngoh Ngoh, they don't organize all the traditional chiefs them, the people them for the South. So if the elites for the South, they want endorse Paul Biya, they want give Paul Biya their vote, they want mobilize the entire South region. Not be that Dion Ngute supposed to go for go represent Paul Biya. If that Dion Ngute be the Prime Minister of Cameroon, and if that Dion Ngute be supposed to be at the head of government, not be that Dion Ngute for go represent Paul Biya or for go represent Paul Biya. First of all, we'll ask the question. If Paul Biya they alive, and if Paul Biya fi waka, why be say he own people them? The traditional chiefs of the South, they want to do an endorsement for Paul Biya for his own place where he self come out. Why be say the Paul Biya self not there around? If Paul Biya be alive, and if Paul Biya is still worker, why Paul Biya no go receive the endorsement, the blessings, and the juju? Why Paul Biya no go receive the powers of the juju? Why? If Paul Biya they alive, and if Paul Biya, if he waka? Now the first question that way all man need for ask him. Secondly, if not Dion Ngute be the Prime Minister, who talk say Mr. Paul Biya talks and no one go? Why if not Dion Ngute be the Prime Minister, why they not send Dion Ngute for go receive the endorsement and represent Mr. Paul Biya in his absence? If Dion Ngute been at the head of government, not been he supposed to go. No. Ngoh Ngoh tell Dion Ngute say, fiche-moi la perle. Fous-moi le camp. Imbécile. Tu as qui? Comment me for that? Small house boy. That's what Ngoh Ngoh tell you. Fous-moi le perle. Fiche-moi la perle. Chien. Tu es qui? Imbécile. Ah, comment me for that small house boy? So, Ngoh Ngoh, he come out, he go for the South region. For go do it. For go make juju. Ngoh Ngoh want go make juju. Say Paul Biya must win this election. By the gods, by the ancestral spirit. Ngoh Ngoh go make juju. For broad daylight. No hiding. So they bring all the voodoo priests. They bring all the chieftain for juju. They bring all the traditional chieftain. They say, "Una come. Una bring una strongest juju una get them. We must win this election." This time around, they're not going for Malta for go bring the grandmaster. They're not going for Malta for go bring the grandmaster. The grandmaster for this occultic societies. They're not going to bring the grandmaster. They go bring the grand voodoos. They go bring the voodoo priests. The chiefs of juju. Now they go bring them. For Grand South, they put them all man she done. Guess who be there for front? Dion Ngute not be near that place. Because he's a nobody when it comes to the structure of power for La République. Dion Ngute not be near the place because he not qualify for be for that kind of place. He not qualify for enter for that kind of place. First of all, now a house slave. So a house slave enough it be for the place where the kings and the authorities that be there. House slave and houseboy, you dey send it for errands. Go buy tomato for market. Go buy cocoa soap. You hear? Take them. Go buy bottle mimbo. Stranger they come. Now houseboy won't work that. And that's the work of Dion Ngute. So when it comes for things that they really matter, the house slave enough he enter. When master enter, the slave will go for outside. When the masters, the worker, kunya, the people they get power and authority, when they enter, this house slave, it must come off outside. They must send it. Then I go buy cigar. May go throw the tea. May go sweep outside. The house slave enough hear the real business of kings and queens. Ngoh Ngoh go for the like Don Man. Ngoh Ngoh get open eye. Now the first thing that. Who said the Secretary General of the Presidency come out for the command a person they call the Prime Minister? Now open eye, right? Fishman appear. Come on me for this small boy. Ngoh Ngoh come out. He enter for that place like Don Man. And he command authority. For do juju. Say he must maintain that position. And they must give power back to the Grandmaster. Make we hear what did it happen for Grand South? Look we here. Na play for we.
Donc, des gardiens de la tradition de la mer et de la forêt du Sud. Cet ouvrage magnifique qui impose grandeur, prestance, équilibre dans un style majestueux, baroque et contemporain, exprime assurance et engagement en tout temps et en toutes circonstances des gardiens de la tradition du Sud Cameroun vis-à-vis de son excellence Paul Biya, un Omangui, l'homme de la providence en qui, pour nous, de la région du Sud, il n'y a que reconnaissance, gratitude et remerciement. Ce trône, taillé dans un bois dur, avec un tissage généreux de rotin autour, rime avec concentration, vertu, majestuosité et succès en toutes circonstances. Il laisse transparaître beauté par l'alternance de sa stature et de ses aigrures. Souplesse par son assise, son dossier et ses accoudoirs aux 8 supports en rotin manifestant unicité et accomplissement total de son propriétaire. Grandeur par sa hauteur, sa largeur et sa profondeur. Équilibre naturel et protection par son ancrage à l'écosystème local du Sud Cameroun. Ce trône est embelli par deux sirènes angéliques
that chair now, after they don't talk all these things them, now for them now they supposed to carry, now for them now Paul Biya supposed to go shit down for that on top of that chair. And then they throw it country medicine on top of his head. And then throw it country medicine on top of food. Now they cheer for Grandmaster. Now they cheer that. Now they cheer that. We're supposed to shit on day. When they go carry all the witchcraft. They take them now, they put them for Paul Biya, for say he must win that election by fire, by force, by juju, and by witchcraft. Now they place this way, authority and people where they get power, they're supposed to be there. Dion Ngute not be nowhere to be found. Okay? So, next. Now we know place where Dion Ngute belong. All man now know place where Dion Ngute belong. Right? All man, Dion Ngute, it get level. A level not been a level of authority or power. Na a propaganda house boy. Now an errand boy. Okay? Now errand boy. That he only be useful for when they come for make propaganda for Ambazonian. Now they only use that they use it. When I wait, as things that they collapse, now then they will first start for finish with them. Make we go for the next one. As we know, they begin with the call and say Brenda Biya. He don't take a public stand against his papa and against his mommy. He don't call them out for all the bad things that they do, even for their own people there. He is speaking. He is staying for Switzerland. He make TikTok every day. Wash his papa and his mommy them for outside. Talk how the one kill it. Then yesterday, it never end for day. Brenda don't move another one. When I hear from Brenda, as I said before we continue the story, when I hear, who's up volume day? Volume no day.
Je coupe les ponts avec mes parents parce qu'ils m'ont toute ma vie, ils m'ont fait du mal et maintenant je me rends compte qu'ils veulent me tuer. Je coupe les ponts avec mes parents. Dorénavant, je ne suis plus de la famille. L'argent que vous utilisiez pour me contrôler, je ne prendrai plus un seul sou. Maman, papa, venant de vous. Vous n'avez aucune idée de tout le mal qu'ils m'ont fait. Tout le mal que ces gens m'ont fait et continuent à me faire. Donc pour la campagne, vous voulez vraiment savoir qui je vais voter. Je ne voterai pas Paul Biya.
Period. Period. For people that don't understand Egyptian language, Brenda talks in a very wicked people them. Na bad people them. Na people that they kill. Na people that they commit murder. They even try for killing. He said that they try for killing. They try for the other part of the video where we will not get them way I know we will not want to include them for it because it's long. He said that they try for send people that they can't give drugs so that make it take those drugs, make it die because it talk against them. Now Brenda, they call on the people of Cameroun. Say, ye Brenda, not fi vote wicked people them. And ye Brenda, not fi vote for your own papa because his papa na a wicked man. We the key people them. And for your old age, instead for you for go rest, you want continue for destroy a country where never belong. Brenda talk say, ye Brenda no go vote for Paul Biya, and ye Brenda, it call on all Cameroonese. May they no vote for Paul Biya. Now Paul Biya on picking that. So you get a war between Ngoh Ngoh and the colonial prime minister. Then you get another war now where they go on between Paul Biya and Brenda for inside the same Unity Palace. For inside the same place. Now, for people that don't understand what it go on, all these things that they happen are because of what Ambazonian don't deliver them to La Republic. The courage of the Ambazonian people, them, the resilience of the Ambazonian people, them, the bravery of the Ambazonian people, them, okay, our capacity for stand collectively for our own humanity. That confidence, that courage, that bravery we don't demonstrate them. It don't make even Brenda now if he come outside, he can't call his papa out openly. It never ever happened until now. You, the Ambazonian people, them, when they look at our picking them, they look at our sisters, them, they look at our mommy, when they see their level of courage, they also be inspired. So now when Brenda don't come out for outside, he can't challenge a papa, call a papa say be witch man, call a papa say a terrorist, call a papa say a murderer, call a papa say a massacre perpetrator, call a papa say na he cause all the problem them for Southern Cameroons. They go arrest Brenda. Paul Biya go send his secret agents them, make they go arrest Brenda, lock am. Make they go arrest Brenda, put it for prison. Because no other person get free speech. No other person get free speech. With all the things that we Brenda don't talk am, Paul Biya go arrest Brenda, lock am. Paul Biya go put Brenda for Kondengi. The Cameroon Minister of National Security, he go arrest Brenda. The Cameroon Minister of Justice, he go arrest Brenda. The Cameroon military will go arrest Brenda. No. Because Brenda not been an Ambazonian. If not an Ambazonian be talk those things, if we don't chase it to the gates of hell. But thanks to the courage of the Ambazonian people then, Brenda can stand for outside, speak the truth to the world, and tell the world who Paul Biya be and who Chantal be, his own mommy and his own papa, if they be his own mommy and his own papa in the first place. No man, no. I don't know. They only call it Brenda. We don't know, right? We don't know. So I hear some other people they talk say, so what will be the way forward? You want to ask what will be the way forward? Let's check first. You want to ask what will be the way forward, right? The way forward na patience. The way forward na victory. The way forward na your freedom. You just finished 2 successful weeks of lockdown. So now which way forward did he ask for? You just finished for deliver 2 weeks of a punch. 2 weeks for sure saying that you be in charge. 2 weeks for sure saying that you be in control. 2 weeks for demonstrate. Say Cameroon not get the power where they lie to themselves so they get them from Amazonia. The collective effort. Now all this we need for doing. Leave the rest for the negotiation table. That's all the leadership asks you for doing. Do this one. Because it pile up, and it take the rope. We don't take the occupier putty for make the commit suicide. We don't take that rope time for their neck. We draw them small. The end don't come. We don't finish 2 weeks of successful lockdown. Tomorrow, na Saturday, all place will open. Sunday, all place it go open. 2 weeks of successful lockdown. A period this for celebrate your achievement and your victory, your commitment and your dedication. It will be easy? No, it not be easy. It takes sacrifice for our people them for dedicate 2 weeks for collective resistance. There is economic loss, revenue loss, loss of business opportunity. It's a lot of loss. Loss of beginning with no go school. Loss of people who are supposed to travel and not travel. Ambazonians, they make this sacrifice because they know what they want. and they know waiting for do them, forget them. Now sacrifices. Forget something for life. You go for sacrifice. For prove to God. See, as God you do a part, you must do your own human part. There's a price to pay for freedom. There's a price you get for pay for become successful. There's a price where any person get for pay for go school. You get for study. You get for go school. You get for sit down for class. So you know if you serve 2 masters at a time. Any person will go law school, medical school, you know the price and the cost. You know how much you give up in your life. You know how much you deprive yourself of certain things. But you know, say, what you do, it be worth it. The future will be greater. The future will be brighter. The money we're going to make and will be plenty, 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 bundle by bundle by bundle by bundle by bundle. The house we're going to live will be in a big man house. The motor we're going to drive and will be a big man motor them. You are beginning to go live in abundance and lavish lifestyle. You go become a doctor with a big title. You go get prestige and respect. So you be willing for pay the price for all those things. Why people don't understand this one? They know the benefits of freedom, of independence. They know the benefits of a prosperous society. They know the benefits for them forget self-governance. They know the benefits. That's why we make these sacrifices. On behalf of Dr. Cho, on behalf of the leader, on behalf of the vice president, on behalf of our forces them across the 13 states, they say thank you. They say thank you, Ground Zero. They say thank you to our civilian population. They say thank you. We go now for our last item. This, I think they're calling Apostle Ambe. He don't come again. Apostle Ambe don't come again. Apostle Ambe say, ye too no go, she don't quiet. He say as Brenda they talk, ye Apostle Ambe, he no go, she don't quiet. The time don't come, we go for call a spade a spade. Yeah? Apostle Ambe say, time don't reach for call a spade a spade. He say people, they must speak truth to power, to the Grand Master. Eh? Elongobi. Eh? He say people, they must speak truth to power to Elongobi. Elongobi. I think I think that year for that their video for Grandmaster. Elongobi, I think that they talk. So Apostle Ambe say, if Ngoh Ngoh they go for the south, go move Juju, then at least the only small thing way to feed one for make contribution for what it go on for the political brouhaha. At least may talk more true. When I don't say Apostle Ambe, they say na man for sense. Make we hear what Mr. Ambe don't talk. Make we hear.
Secondly, President Paul Biya came to power as a youth. Today we have ancestors ruling us. I mean, living ancestors. In almost every strategic responsibility, you cannot find a young man there. National Assembly, I grew up and knew the president of National Assembly. My daughter, first daughter, is still telling me the same person is National Assembly. The person who heads the Senate is a retired individual who was grabbed somewhere and he barely walks. We are talking about a constitutional council person who has been given an office that was created to make sure elections go free in this country. He was brought into that office. He saw it as a trophy, not an employment, as a breakthrough of the millennium. Now we have such persons in responsibilities. How do you expect a nation to continue for when the poor are ruling it are on wheelchairs? A nation that is led by people on wheelchairs, how do you expect the nation to gain speed? The people themselves cannot work. How can the nation work? Because in leadership, we need energy, we need vitality, we need vigor to carry out leadership to an effective end. But that's
This one not been as we talk amo. No been me adi talk am. Ambe say no, she don't quiet. Ambe, Mr. Ambe, talk am again. Talk am louder. Talk am again.
President Paul Biya came to power as a youth. Today we have ancestors ruling us. I mean, living ancestors. In almost every strategic responsibility, you cannot find a young man there. National Assembly, I grew up and knew the president of National Assembly. My daughter, first daughter, is still telling me the same person is National Assembly. The person who has the Senate is a retired individual who was grasped somewhere and he barely walks. We are talking about a constitutional council person who has been given an office that was created to make sure elections go free in this country. He was brought into that office. He saw it as a trophy, not an employment, as a breakthrough of the millennium. Now we have such persons in responsibilities. How do you expect a nation to continue for when the poor are ruling it are on wheelchairs? A nation that is led by people on wheelchairs, how do you expect the nation to gain speed? The people themselves cannot work. How can the nation work? Because in leadership, we need energy, we need vitality, we need vigor to carry out leadership to an effective end. But that's
So, Ambe don't talk am. Now the people them this way, we Ambe they talk about, we Brenda they talk about. Now the people them this way, they not feel worker, but the one can govern Ambazonian. The one can occupy Ambazonian. The one can build Ambazonian. People where they never carry the tea for their own country, the one can build Ambazonian. They destroy Ambazonian villages, towns, communities. When they can make small bridge, they go call it reconstruction, like say bridge before war. Bridgeway, roadway they never build them. When they come, as they call them, bulldoze road, they go call us in a reconstruction. The villages, the towns, the communities, the cities, the neighborhoods, where they destroy them, they never go build them. So now they fool you. No leave and make they fool you. No leave and make they fool you. You don't already defeat them. Prepare for take your country back. That's your responsibility. Cameroun is going for make propaganda. Cameroun is going for delay tactics. They do these delay tactics now because of the CPDM elites, these blood suckers, these murderers. When are they engineer all these things? Even for other country, Regina Mundi for don't resign. Dion Ngute for don't resign. Atanganji for don't resign. Tabetando for don't resign. The for talk say not in my name. I'm not there for this thing. You must solve this problem. You not fit continue for kill people then, destroy villages, destroy communities, and you call yourself a government. Not in my name. I not be part of this. A people they get character and they do them now out of the genuine care and love and compassion for the people they think that they govern them. Everybody for don't step down and disassociate themselves from this genocide, these massacres, and these crimes against the Ambazonian people. But these people then, as Ngoh Ngoh don't prove them, they don't go join Minyongo house, join Juju house. Paul Biya don't take all them. You open your mouth, you talk say one resign. All man no get passport again. No man no fit travel out of Cameroun. Ngoh Ngoh don't put an order. None of them fit travel out of Cameroon. Everybody they live inside a prison. All the colonial elites, they are all prisoners. Not be only Kondengi be prison. If you know if you speak your conscience, you know if you speak the truth, you're a prisoner. And in due time, the Ambazonian people will hold you accountable. So far, we've done really well. We've done extremely well. We don't prove ourselves beyond all reasonable doubt. We don't defy all expectations. We don't defy all expectations. See what we don't do. See how far we don't come. See how much we don't demonstrate. See how much the power structure don't change. That's why they fear. They don't get no choice. We don't tie their hand, tie their foot, put them for rope. They will commit suicide. Ambazonian don't prevail. When I hold the line. Just a little bit longer. The international community, the way it will happen for inside La Republic. Before any major announcement start. You know, if it starts until we don't know what will come, who will be the president in Cameroon in the next 3 weeks. You know, if we can't start anything, you don't know whether Ngoh Ngoh will be there, na Dion Ngute will be there, na Paul Biya will be there, or na the army will take power. No person be foolish enough to go take that kind of risk. Cameroon be for a crisis point. Nobody know what will happen for Cameroon. They don't know whether the Northeast they go explode. They don't know whether rebels they will be created. No man don't know what will happen for Cameroon. That's why places will be silent. Because they just wait for see if Cameroon fit sort out its own issues before they will know who now they will say, let us begin. That's why Ambazonian we go for be patient. That's why we go for stay focused. That's why we go for focus on the fundamentals. And the fundamentals for the liberation struggle. All the forces on the ground will be strong. Strong. The whole year, Cameroon never fit for dislodge any Ambazonian barrack. The key fundamentals on the ground will be very strong. Now we get all the cards. Now we get all the cards. Now we get all the leverage. Cameroon don't get no cards. Cameroon don't get leverage. Now we be in control. Now we be in charge. Now hold the line. Now hold the line. All my place there.